everyone, my name is Jeremy and I'd like to invite you to come look over my shoulder as I play through
The Hare and the Tortoise, a game for 2 to 5 people designed by Gary Kim and produced by Yellow.
Okay, let's start with a brief look inside the box. I want to talk about the game really quickly and then we'll move into setup here. So here's the game box. Notice it looks kind of like a book that you put on your shelf, and it's actually part of a series of games produced by Yellow that look like this, that are all based on fairy tales. So inside the box you've got your rule book, and you get a little story about the fable of the hare and the tortoise. Okay, a little story for the kids there. It's kind of neat, but we'll put that off to the side here. Now it is essentially a racing game. Okay, so we've got some parts that go along with that. We have got, for example, we've got our final podium at the end. This is where our winners will go, and what's interesting about this is it identifies, you put first, second, and third, but it identifies the point value too. So winning gets you 5 points, coming in second gets you 3, and coming in third gets you 2 points. So we're going to race right to the end. So we have three finishers here. But we'll put that off to the side for now. It comes with this little piece right here that you put together. This is just your final. The animals will pass underneath here. There's the end of the race, and we've got these pieces right here. These will become the racetrack. We'll put that together in just a second. Here's your starting line. The animals are all right in here. Let's pull those out. Now what's kind of neat about this game is when the game starts here, you really aren't one of these animals. In a lot of games that you play, you take on one of the little characters and they become your little, I guess, avatar, for lack of a better word, through the game. But that's not what this is. All of these animals are racing. You're going to help each of them move through the race at some point in time. We'll get to that in just a minute, how that works. There are some other little bonuses here to kind of help through the game here, that with a slightly different version of the game that is explained in the rules, so we're not going to worry about that right now. This little timepiece right here is what's used to determine who's the starting player is at a given round. This will move around through the group of people as the game goes on. And it's a clock here. Interesting little thing about the game, the person who starts the game, the very first player here, is the one who quickly tells the time. And then they get this right here. Help kind of encourage kids, if you're playing with kids, to learn how to tell time. And then we've got the cards that we'll play with. And there's the box. Let's just put this away right now. And we got 3 different types of cards here. We've got your kind of your info sheet. Everybody gets one of these. This is what's going to tell people how the different animals are going to move through the race. We'll explain that in a second. And then here are your betting cards. Okay, one for each animal. And we'll talk about this again in a second here. This will be the animal that you'll get. You'll want to help that particular animal get to the end of the race first. And then here are the cards that we play with. You'll see all the different animals on there. Okay, these are how we play the game. These are going to be the cards that we're going to use to move the animals through the race. Now let's talk setup. So here's our starting line right here. And we've got all sorts of different tiles here that have got bits of road on them. Okay, we're going to lay this out real quick here. You can see that on one hand there's a little turn here, on the other side it's straight. It doesn't really matter at all. Okay, so you can make this up however you'd like. So I'll just make a really simple one here. One thing that you might want to pay attention to is 2 of them have got a river going through it. Okay. And so you might want to spread those out. I mean, or maybe you don't. You could have it quite random here if you wanted. But it is sort of helpful to have those spread out a little bit. And you'll see why in just a minute here. And then here's the end of our race. We'll put our finish line right there. And then everybody gets up to the starting line here. Now the question is, which one do you want to win? So what's going to happen is with these cards right here, and you can see they're marked off with this little circle with a star on it. You'll shuffle these up. Okay? And then we'll deal these out, 1 to each player. And everyone will secretly look at their animal here. So the one that I've got is the tortoise. This is the one that I want to win. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to shuffle up these other cards here. And these are the cards that we play with. So I'm going to deal out 7 of these to each player. So now that I've got 7 cards, what I do at the very beginning of the game is I'm going to look through my 7 cards here. And I see that I've got some turtles here. I've got a wolf. And I've got a couple of foxes. We'll keep those together. I've got a rabbit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of these cards here to be my second animal that I'm betting on, because I'm betting on a couple animals here. I want either one of them to be first and second. Okay, those are the ones I want to get through here. So I'm going to choose for right now. I'm going to choose the fox. Okay, that's mine. Everybody else is going to do the exact same thing. Everybody's going to work through their set of 7 cards, choose another one to add to their little pile. We're going to put these off to the side. When you play the game, you play with 6 cards. Just 6 cards. And every time you play some cards from your hand, you're going to go back to the draw pile and replenish your hand up to 6. Okay, well, I told the time first, so I get to go first. I take the little token here to remind everybody that I'm the first player. Here are my cards. Now, we all know that I'm betting on the turtle and the fox here. On my turn, what I can do is I can play any number of cards from my hand, but they all have to be the same animal. Up to 4 here, because what a round is going to be is everybody's going to just play cards from their hand. We're going to go around the circle. Everyone's going to play cards. If they play multiple cards, those cards have to be the same animal. It can be any animal they want, but every card that they play has to be the same animal. A round ends when I can count, for example, 4 of any kind of animal. So just for argument's sake, let's say I put down my rabbit. The next person puts down, let's say 2 rabbits, and the next person puts down another rabbit. There's 4 rabbits. That would be the end of the round, even though we didn't get to everybody else here. The other way that a round ends is when 8 cards have been played. As soon as 8 cards have been played, the round of card playing ends, and then we move to showing you how the animals work. All right, so the round has gone around. Everyone's played their cards. Now it's my turn again, because notice this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards have been played. We don't have a lot of any one type of animal here, okay? And so it's come around to me, and I'm going to play until we've got, remember, we play until there are 4 of one type of animal showing, or 8 cards have been played here. And additionally, notice that in the spot where somebody played 2 cards, they played the exact same card here. Now it's my turn again. I don't have to play turtles anymore, because this is a new turn for me. And remember, my 2 animals that I want to win here, I wanted the fox and the turtle to win, so I'm going to play my fox card. Now, that takes us, I'm going to replenish my hand, because that tends to be something people forget to do, replenish their hand. The round of card laying is now over. Now we're going to proceed to the next phase, and that's going to be moving the animals. Okay, so now to move the animals, we have to refer back to this card right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at each one of the animals here on this card, but we're going to do it in order here. Keeping order in mind is important as you get near the end of the game here, because if you got a clump of animals near the end here, you got to remember that the rabbit is going to move first, and then the turtle, then the wolf, fox, and lamb. Now, by the way, this is a good moment to say this. This game can work from up to 2 to 5 players here, but it works really well with 3 to 4. 3 to 4, just a really, really good number of people, particularly because if you've got up to 5 people, then it is going to be often the case here where there will be a couple of people that won't get to participate in a round because of multiple cards coming out. So we're going to look at the rabbit here. Now, take a look at what it says about the rabbit. If 1 to 4 rabbit cards are played, the rabbit is going to move ahead 2. Now, what this says down here is if the rabbit is in first place and 4 rabbit cards get played, the rabbit doesn't move at all. The rabbit goes to sleep. So now in this particular case, let's take a look here. There is 1 rabbit card that was played, so it doesn't matter whether there's 1 to 4 there. The rabbit's going to move ahead 2. Unless the rabbit is in first or tied for first, and 4 rabbits get played. Now next, the turtle. The turtle says 0 to 3 cards being played will allow it to move ahead 1, and if 4 cards are played, it'll move ahead 2. Now, it's important to remember that 0. Oh, that's something that we forget frequently. We have to keep reminding ourselves. That turtle is going to keep moving forward, even if no turtle cards have been played. Okay, there's your slow and steady. So in this case here, I did play 2 turtle cards. I was the only one who played the turtle cards. I was kind of hoping somebody else would have played a couple. So the turtle's going to move ahead 1. Okay, next, it's the wolf's turn. Now the wolf is kind of an interesting one here. The wolf is going to move 1 to 2. Okay, sorry, if you play 1 or 2 wolf cards down, the wolf is going to move ahead 1. Now, if 3 or 4 wolf cards are going to be played, it's going to move X minus 1. So if 3 cards are played, it'll move ahead 2. If 4 cards are played, it'll move ahead 3. So it's going to be 1 less. Now, that might sound like a bit of a disadvantage. And for a lot of the game here, that is a bit of a disadvantage here. But the wolf does have a really powerful tool here. And if one of those cards that's played has got that little howler symbol on it, and there are 3 cards there that do, what happens is that wolf is howled, all the other animals have gotten scared, they don't move. And so in that particular case here, the wolf will be the only animal that moves. Now in this particular round here, there were 2 wolf cards played, and so because of that, the wolf's going to move ahead 1. Next we move on to the fox. Fox is very, very straightforward. Between 1 to 4 cards, the fox is simply going to move ahead X. So however many cards were played, that's how many spaces the fox will move forward. So in this round here, 2 foxes were played, so the fox is going to move ahead 2. And then finally, the lamb, when you play 1 to 4 lamb cards, the lamb will move ahead that many cards plus 1. Okay, so that the lamb will move from basically 2 up to 5 spaces forward here. However, and that sounds like a huge advantage, and it really is. However, except for this little bit right here, this is why the rivers are important. When a lamb hits a river, that's the end of its turn. No matter how many spaces it was supposed to move forward, that's where that one ends. The lamb stops to get a drink. Now in this particular case here, there is 1 lamb card that was played, and so as a result, the lamb will move ahead 1, 2 spaces. So now that's the end of the animal movement. So now all of the cards get thrown into the discard pile, and the starting position is going to move to the player on my left. That person will start laying down cards, and we start the whole process again. Okay, now let's have a quick look at some of the more interesting little scenarios that kind of pop up in this game here. So the second player is gone. They've played a rabbit, and then we've got a lamb, 2 more rabbits, a wolf. Now it's my turn. Okay, now 5 cards have been played, but I take a quick look at the cards that I've got here. Now remember, I want the turtle to win, and the fox, okay? However, I see something going on here. There's 3 rabbits out here, and I've got a rabbit right here. Now it might seem like I'm helping the rabbit right now, but actually I'm not. So I played my rabbit card, I grabbed a new card here. That's the end of the card playing. Now we're going to move on to the animal motion here. But because the rabbit is in first place and 4 rabbits have been played, and that's what ended the round here. It's not 8 cards in this case, it's because there were 4 rabbits here. The rabbit actually is going to go to sleep. The rabbit's not going to move. Now, we move next. Okay, we move next to the tortoise. And even though no tortoise cards have been played, remember, that's okay. The tortoise moves forward 1. Now, there was 1 wolf card played. Remember, for 1 or 2 wolf cards, the wolf moves forward. There have been no foxes played, so the fox doesn't move. But the lamb will. There's been 1 lamb played. Now, the lamb with 1 card should move ahead 2, but because it lands on water, that's where the lamb is going to end. So now the players have moved around. The animals are kind of distributed. You can see where they're at right now. We've got the lamb and the fox in the lead, and the rabbit and the tortoise, and then the wolf there. Now my friend here to my right has just played a lamb card. Now here's where my hand sits right now. I've got 3 lambs, 2 tortoises, and a wolf here. Now at this point in time, bearing in mind that I want the tortoise and the fox to win, you might think that, well, I'll just play my tortoises here to keep them moving here. But actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play all 3 of my lambs. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm going to do that is because, remember, I don't want the lamb to win, But I know there's only going to be two animals that are going to move because remember the tortoise is always going to move. So the tortoise is going to move ahead 1, even though no cards were played. Now we're going to move to the lamb. The lamb would move ahead 5, but because the river's right here, the lamb's going to stop right there. So really what I've been able to do here is I was able to chuck out some cards and get some new ones here too. Okay, so Progress has played a little bit here. You can see the characters all lined up. So the tortoise is in the lead with the lamb and then the wolf and the rabbit. Sorry, the fox and the rabbit, and the wolf is trailing behind here. But 2 lambs have been played and a rabbit. So when at this point right here, if we were to stop and run this, the rabbit would go ahead 2, but the lamb would come ahead 3. That means the lamb would win. Okay, the tortoise would then move ahead 1, even if no cards have been played. So right now, it's not looking so good that my guys are going to win here. However, I do have something that I can do right now to kind of help stop this a little bit. I've got a howler here. So I'm going to play the howler. Now, as soon as I do that, that means people are going to keep playing. We're going to keep playing through the round until either 8 cards have come up or 4 of a kind, just like we do normally. But the only animal that's going to move is the wolf here. Now, this is a good opportunity for people to chuck things out. And in fact, if it gets all the way around and back up to my turn, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck out these 2 rabbit cards because I don't want them, right? And I don't want to help the rabbit along at all here. So I would chuck these out and see if I can get some more tortoise and some more fox cards here. We're almost done our draw pile here, so we're going to have to reshuffle our discard and start again, and that's totally fine. That's exactly what's expected once you get through that. So let's carry this through to the end of the game and see what happens. Okay, here we are. The animals are all bunched up near the end here. Here's my hand, but take a look here. So a lamb has been played, 2 foxes, a rabbit, and a turtle. As much as I want the turtle to win and the fox to be right there, it just isn't going to happen here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play my 3 turtles here. That is going to end this round. And so now what happens here, though, is because a rabbit has been played, and remember, we go through in order, so the rabbit goes first. And because 1 card has been played, the rabbit's going to go ahead to, boom, the rabbit wins. Okay? Now, then the tortoise goes, and because there was 4 tortoises played, he gets to go ahead too. So the tortoise is going to come in second, so I'm okay with that. That's wonderful here. No wolf cards have been played, so the wolf doesn't move. The fox does move. 2 were played, and as exciting as that is, that's not the end. See, and then 1 lamb was played, so the lamb's going to move ahead 2. The lamb is going to come in third. Okay, so there you have it. There are our winners. Okay. Tortoise came in second. I tried. Rabbit came in first, tortoise second, lamb third. So now we're going to take a look at what people were kind of rooting for here, betting on. So to my left, this gentleman was hoping that the tortoise and the lamb would win. Now that means he's going to get 3 points for the tortoise, 2 points for lamb, so 5 points. Over here, ooh, tortoise and the rabbit. Actually, that was a good one. That's gonna be 5 points for this one, 3 points for this one, so 8 points there. Over here, oh, there was a double bet on the fox. Now, if the fox had won, that would have been 10 points right there. That's the best you can do. Unfortunately, the fox didn't get through. I would have liked that to happen too. Didn't happen. To my right here, this person was looking for the fox and the wolf. Ooh, both of those came in short. I, as we all know, was looking for the tortoise and the fox to get through here. I walked away with 3 points. So, kind of dead center of the game here. So, the winner, rabbit and turtle. So that's the game, the hare and the tortoise. Now, this has become a real family favorite. This is one of those games that we go to quite often. And a lot of times when we have friends over that have maybe never played games before, or they're looking for something interesting and something new, we typically go to this real quick because we really like this game and we like to show it off to people. And it's a great game. It's very, very quick to learn. It doesn't take very long to play, which is one of the huge bonuses of this game. It's very, very quick, and in fact, what's nice about that is it's so quick you don't get emotionally involved with this and upset when it's over if you lose. One of the most interesting things about this game, though, is what happens kind of afterwards. One of the things that I've noticed every time we've played this with people that have never played it before is there's this moment of aha, I got it. So we'll start the game, and there's a little bit of uncertainty because it's not entirely clear how the characters move right away. And so we play through the game, and there's this, like for example, when you pull out a game that looks kind of like this with a bunch of adults, oftentimes there's that moment of, okay. And we start to play the game, and you see people start to get used to what's going on. But by the time we're done, it's, all right, set it up, we're doing it again. In fact, I don't know if we've ever played this with somebody new, and we haven't played it 2 or 3 times in a row. Because once you get it, it's not hard, but there's enough strategic thinking there to keep an adult interested, even though it's kind of a kid's theme, really. In fact, that's one of the charming things about this game. It's really well put together. The pieces are great. The little wooden pieces, they're just really, really cute. The art is endearing, and I guess charming again is a really good word for it. If there's one little negative I'd say about it is the pieces don't always fit as nicely. I've always got to kind of play with the little characters to make them fit nicely in the box. But I mean, that's really, really minor. It's a great, great game. And it'll continue to be one of the games that we go to anytime we have somebody new over that's kind of interested in trying stuff out. It's a really, really good intro game and a great time filler. It's not the kind of game that you would go over to someone's house specifically to play, but it's that game that you'd go to and you'd play really, really quickly, get a feel for it, and I suspect for a lot of new people, they run out and they get it real quick because it is such a fun little game.